Hey there, Tiger Rock parents and students. Wow, what a weird week we've been having, right? So this is going to be our first video lesson that I'm going to release. And this one's just going to cover some basic things that I'd like our students to practice at home if they have time, if they're willing to, some things to keep their training progressing and keep us looking towards that April 11th testing, which is still totally on and planned to happen. I want to see all of our students continue to progress and us to continue to build up our studio, our academy, as well as our community around Flagstaff. And I know this is a weird time, but there's definitely something that we can all be doing, especially while we're trapped inside for a little while. So this week, what I really want our students to focus on is working on our kick height, because I've noticed throughout classes and throughout the last couple of weeks that we've got some amazing kick technique, but a lot of our kicks are down low. So we really want to work on getting those kicks a little bit higher and a little bit higher, and then eventually even higher as they go on and as our students progress. Because those kicks, being able to do higher kicks, definitely helps us in the long run as martial artists with that tournament mindset, getting those head kicks for those 2 points, as well as just for our general ability as martial artists. So with that, I have a couple drills that we can do at home. And one of them involves the clap target. All of you at home should have at least one clap target. Your families might have more than one clapper target, but everyone should have a clapper target somewhere at home. So feel free to grab that. This is a great opportunity to train with your students or with your brothers or your sisters or your parents. It's a great opportunity to ask them to help you out, and maybe you can teach them a little something as well. So with that, we're going to work on our front kick, our side kick, and our round kick. And for you green belts and above, and any of you white and yellow belts that want to push yourself a little bit, the hook kick as well. So the way we're going to do that is for that front kick and side kick, we hold the target nice and straight out in that teardrop motion, right? And we're going to hit the front of the target nice and straight. With that front kick, remember, we always hit with the ball of our foot, okay? So with the front kick is with the ball of our foot, with our side kick is with our heel. So that front kick, I've got I have the bag here as my example. We'll pretend that that's someone holding the top target. What we want to work on is those number twos this week, so those back leg kicks. So I'm going to start in my good back stance. My back leg's going to come up, chamber, and I'm going to set it down in front and take a step back, okay? So that's the way we're going to do our front kick, and I want you all to do that at least 5 times on each side if you can. Push for 10, maybe do 5 on each side, take a break, come back, and do it again, take a break, and really work on that. Then with our side kick, remember, we hit with the heel, we pivot, and from there, we go all the way around, hit that green chamber, set it down in front, take a step back. And remember, we're working on kick height this week, so now I want everyone to be aiming at least waist high. If it's too easy waist high, I want you to go to your belly level. If that's too easy, try and go to right at your chest level. If that's too easy, try and get up at your nose level, okay? So that's what I really want, is I want to see those quality kicks at that high level and at that high height as well. So high level in multiple different ways of the word. So that's what I want us to work on. So that's our number 2 front kick and our number 2 side kick. So next we have our number 2 round kick. And for that one, what we're going to do is, remember, we hold that clap target, instead of being held in a teardrop, we're going to hold it nice and straight out, and the round kick's going to come out and hit the side of the target right there. So yes, we're going to do our number 2 round kick. So I'm going to start my good back stance. And with my round kick, remember, I hit with the ball of my foot again. I pull my toes back, hit with the ball of my foot. I'm going to pivot on my bottom foot. I'm going to come around, kick it, re-chamber, set it down, and take a step back. Again, I'd love to see that 5 times on each side. And again, do that 5 times each side, take a break. Do it 5 times on each side, take another break. And just find a good time to do that and practice that a couple times. Now, for you green belts and above, and any of you white and yellow belts that look to push yourselves, we want to work on that number 2 hook kick as well. So the hook kick, I like to say, is a bit of, if a side kick and a round kick had a baby, you'd have a hook kick. So the way our hook kick works is, remember, what we're going to do is we still pivot, like we're doing a side kick. I'm going to pivot my foot. I'm going to chamber like a side kick. So I'm going to try and knee myself in the stomach. Then I'm going to do a side kick out, and I'm going to do a round kick rechamber. And on that round kick rechamber, that's when I hit my target. So I rechamber and hit my target right with my heel. So right with this back part of my heel is where I hit my target. So if I do that a little bit faster, I chamber, kick out, then I hook, and then I'm back down. So a fast hook kick looks like this, up and around, straight back down, okay? So with that one, we hold the clap target the same way as if we're doing a round kick. But this time, if I'm doing a round kick that's going to hit this side of the target, the hook kick version hits this side of the target. So what's going to happen is I hit that with my heel. And remember, we're doing number 2, so that means my back leg. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to do a number 2 side kick and miss the target. And then I'm going to hook around, rechamber, and set it down. It's a little bit difficult to do on the back, but I'll give it a shot. So we go up, hook, rechamber, set it down in front, and I take a step back, okay? So I'd love to see everyone do that 5 times on each side as well. For you white and yellow belts, if you're looking to push yourself, give it a try. Learn something new. Really work on that new kick and see if you can kind of understand it. When we meet in person, we'll work on really solidifying that and making that a quality kick, because that is a great kick. Because you can fake people out, make them think you're doing a side kick, but bam, no you're not, you're doing a hook kick. So, again, use your clap targets for that. And remember, this week we're aiming for that kick height. So I don't want to see any kicks below the waist this week. Waist high is the lowest our kicks can be. And then if that's comfortable, belly button high. If that's comfortable, chest high. If that's comfortable, nose high, okay? I want us to really work on our kick height and getting it up there, because that's a difficult process to do, but the sooner we can start it, the better we can be at it. So, with our kick height, the other thing that we can do to work on that is we can do our slow kicks up against our wall, our bed frame, if you've got a power bag at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one hand on the back, and then I'm going to do 5 slow kicks of a front kick, a round kick, a side kick, and a hook kick in the air. And what I'm really going to focus on is getting that waist high, but making sure you can still tell the difference in those kicks, okay? So what you're going to do is you grab onto a wall, a bag, your bed frame. If your mom or dad is willing to let you use them as a mountain, go ahead and hold on to them. And hold on, get your other hand up in guard. Remember, we always want our guard up. And then for my front kick, I'm going to make that table, and I'm going to go out, still hip height, push the ball of my foot forward, rechamber it, set it down. We're going to do that 5 times on each side. And again, make sure I really work that hip height, at least that waist height. So we're going to do that with our front kick, and then we'll do our side kick. So again, I'm right here. My other hand is up in guard. I go up. Notice how I pivot. I bring my knee in, and then I go straight up and pull my toes back so that way I'm hitting with my heel. I rechamber all the way, and then I set that all the way back down. Again, 5 times on each side, at least waist height for that. So with our round kick, remember with our round kick we hit with the ball of our foot. We make a line between our shoulder, our hip, and our knee. Our knee points at our target. My other hand is up in guard. I go around, I rechamber, and I set it down. So now, with that hook kick, remember, we're grabbing onto something, my other hand's up in guard. I'm going to do a side kick chamber, so I'm going to try and knee myself in the stomach. I'm going to do a side kick, but miss my target. Then I'm going to hook around into that round kick rechamber that, set it back down, okay? So the hook kick's a difficult kick, but it's a great thing to push yourself towards. So again, remember, we want to do that 5 times on each side, and I always like to say the slower the better. If you can do it slow, fast is no problem at all. So I really want you to practice those slow movements on that. By the end, your glutes and your quads should be burning if you're doing things right, or by the next morning. So that means that you really practice those techniques nice and slow, because if you can do a quality side kick, nice and slow, all the way through, then firing one out, just like that's no problem at all. Okay, so that's what we really want to practice. So that's what we're going to do with our clapper targets for this lesson, and we're going to really work on that. And then from there, I'd love to see all of our students practice their homeland form. And I know it's difficult to find a spot, especially at home, to practice your Ho-Am form. While I was in college, I had about about a 3 foot by 8 foot area to practice my whole Ho-Am form. So I know the struggle of practicing your form. But some ways that we can practice that at home is really just split it up into sections. Do as much of the form as you can in a little spot, then go ahead back to somewhere you can do some more of your form and continue on. And again, I really want everyone in their Ho-Am form this week to work on getting their kicks at least waist high. So for you white and yellow belts, you just have that side kick right at move 5, that I really want to see that at least waist high. And then for you green belts, I want to see those front kicks too for move number 11 at least waist high. I'd love to see those head high. Same with that round kick for move number 14. So definitely try and practice those, really work at that. For you white and yellow belts, I want to see you practice those 1 steps as well. Remember, you've got 1 step number 1 and 1 step number 2. Remember, 1 step number 1, I put up my guard and I say ready, and then from there I do a right front kick, I land that in a right back stance, I do a right outside block, knife hand, and then my right foot steps into a front stance and my left hand does a reverse punch. Yeah! Guard up, 2 steps back. So if I do that nice and fast, I go ready, and then I go front kick, outside block, knife hand, punch. Yeah! Guard up, 2 steps back. So now for 1 step number 2, remember, we put up our guard and we always say ready. Then I'm going to step left, block left, then I'm going to right punch, left punch, then I'm going to pick up my right leg and do a right crescent kick, and take my left leg and do a left round kick. Yeah! Guard up, 2 steps back. Remember that, guard up, 2 steps back, always. For those of you who have siblings, or maybe you can ask your parents, see if you can teach them the step right, punch right, so that way you can practice your 1 steps on someone else. Because we're going to be starting to work on that red stripe. Even if we're not in our academy, we're going to be practicing for our red stripe and starting to hand those out. Because remember, testing's coming up, and nothing's going to stop us from progressing as martial artists and as an amazing community. So, that being said, I'd love to see everyone practice those things, at least for the duration of this week. And then starting next week, we'll send out some more videos, and hopefully we'll be on track to get back into our academy and get back doing some amazing things. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to shoot me an email or a text, or give the academy number a phone call, or post in the comments of this video, and I'll answer whatever I can as quickly as I can and as best as I can. And we're just going to make the best out of this situation, and we're going to keep training, and then we'll come back real soon, and it'll be like we didn't even skip a day. So that being said, I want everyone to have a great time practicing, have fun with it, take breaks, do it a bunch, come up with your own versions of it, and send me videos of how you decided to practice at home. I'd love to see how you all practice at home. And we'll see you next time, and hopefully throughout the next couple weeks. So yeah, have a good one.